Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. And the first match of IPL 2025 has been completed with the Royal Challengers Bengaluru convincingly beating the Kolkata Knight Riders. Let's get into this review. Starting off with the 11s, I wasn't surprised that the home side went with the overseas fast bowler ahead of Robin Powell, who I thought would strengthen their batting. And I'd said playing one of Spencer Johnson or Andrik Nokia would not strengthen Kolkata's bowling. Now they bought Andrik Nokia for 6.8 crores and they put him on the impact subs bench. And I saw some videos from practice matches where he was bowling. So is it because of lack of match fitness? And I think that would be a recurring theme throughout this season if that's the case. And secondly, because if he was fit, he would have played. And secondly, I knew they'd go with the overseas bowling combination no matter what. And I'd said Ankush Raghuvanshi wouldn't get a game in the side because Sunil Narayan they will back. And in that case, Quinton de Kock has to, well, one of him or Gurbaz or Lubnit Sosodia has to play because they're keepers. And Rahane is the captain at 3. Then you've got the 23 crore guy at number 4. So there's no way Raghuvanshi could play. And if you're leaving out Robin Powell for Raghuvanshi and you're playing two players out of position, then I think that will sum up the season, how I think their season will go. I'd said before that they wouldn't qualify, and this shows they'll play the overseas fast ball no matter what. They'll play two players out of position no matter what, and I think their season won't improve from this point. This will be the general trajectory. And now on RCB, I knew they would play Tim David ahead of Romario Shepherd. And as I review the game, I will continue to advocate for Romario Shepherd starting over Tim David, and I'll justify that as well. Rajat Patidar won the toss and chose to bowl first. Now, at the start, I wasn't too confident on this decision because, and maybe they did it because of the due factor that of RCB's spin strength isn't too great, but I still thought this KKR batting lineup is unconvincing. And if they get around that 200, which they were on course to getting, then this RCB batting lineup where you can back Virat Kohli and Patidar to play long innings. Apart from that, the others look to go aggressively from ball one and they can get out quickly. I didn't think they provided as much of an assurance as Kohli and Patidar would do. It worked out because there was some sieve movement and bounce early on. Josh Hazelwood, I'd said I'd play Nuwan Tushara ahead of him, and I knew they'd go for Hazelwood because of the experience, because of the price tag, and he bought well early on. But I'll discuss the intricacies as I go with this review. And starting off, I've said this before, Quinton de Kock is not the same player after the World Cup. He played a big bash, didn't do anything. Has gone through two SA20s, not done anything. The only league where he scored runs is in the CPL. I'd said, what kind of attitude will he bring? I don't say that about many players. We saw the shots that he played today, apart from that one boundary of a shorter delivery. What did he do? Not much. There was a catch put down off him, then the next delivery is dismissed. And Ramanullah Gurbaz hasn't been in form, but compared to Quinton de Kock, and you could maybe include Luvnit Sasodia in this as well, because I'd say both those players, they look like they've got that hunger that Quinton de Kock does not seem to have at this point in time. I'd wait for two more matches, and what I'd do is you could play one of Gurbaz or Luvnit Sasodia because they can both keep. You can play them ahead of Quinton de Kock, and it'll be better for this team. And if you play Gurbaz and it doesn't work out, maybe then if you so want to play the overseas fast bowler, you can find a way to play Rovman Powell. You could play one of these players up top. Like Venkatesh can finally open the batting if that is the case. I don't know if they will do that. And one thing I didn't get from RCB point of view, where you put pressure on them for 3 overs. Yash Diyal in his first over only goes for 1 run when he's swinging the ball back into the right-hander. And from the 4th over, you're bringing on Rasik Salam, who, because of injury, he used to bowl the new ball. However, because of injury, his pace has dropped and his potency with the new ball has dropped. And you saw in the previous season for the Delhi Cows, he didn't bowl much of the new ball. So you're bringing him on, he goes for 16. And then I didn't get this at all, where Sunil Narayan, he was on 5 of 10 at one point, and the one boundary that took him to 5 was off an edge that went over the keeper when Josh Hazelwood was bowling. He looked completely at sea against the Pacers. And the first ball Kunal Pandya bowls to him, he hits it for 6. I didn't think that was great captaincy there. And Yash Diyal bowled 3 overs. He didn't bowl 1 over in his quarter. In the previous season, they were using him to bowl 3 up front the power play and bowling him 1 to death if need be. And the reason why I said they should play Romario Shepherd is because you could justify them not the points at which they bowled Rafiq Salam, but you can justify them bowling Rafiq Salam in the power play because they've got 3 seamers, and you wouldn't want to bowl spin in the power play at this venue where you saw the spinners who bowled in the power play, no matter how good they are, went for runs. And so what I would have done is you include Romario Shepherd ahead of Tim David, and he'd score as many runs as Tim David would do. He can bowl 2 overs if need be in the middle phase, meaning you can allow yourself to bowl 1 more over of Yash Diyal up front. So I thought RCB missed a trick there. Despite that wicket, the pressure was relinquished, and 60 for 1 after the power play, then over 100 after 10 overs, and it wasn't until the 14th over of the first innings that RCB gained an ascendancy in the match and didn't look back thereafter. Ajinkya I thought we saw the confidence that we saw a couple of seasons ago with CSK, and he's going to have to play well because you're looking at this batting side. Narayan, he scored 44, it was a completely unconvincing 44. I think this will continue. Ankush Raghuvanshi is a very good player, but he's not a power hitter. And with the first boundary that he scored, the cover drive off the spinners, we saw the talent that he has. And he tried his best at the end when he hit Josh Hazelwood for 6, but he's not a power hitter. He cannot bat after the top 4. Venkatesh shared for 23 crores. He's not captain. You're betting him out of position. And we saw I was dismissed today. He's someone who's an opening batsman, and I feel they'll continue to play him and Raghuvanshi in the wrong place, and that's what will disrupt things for them. Andre Russell, he's not been in form in the last ball. He's not played many matches, and in the hour 20, I'll say again, he was an impact sub, so he's not been bowling, and he's someone who you'll be relying on. Rinku Singh is a fantastic player. Ramandeep Singh at the end, he couldn't do much because wickets fell. So because you're playing the wrong players, you're shooting yourself in the foot, but I think they'll continue to do that. And on Josh Hazelwood, 2 for 22 in 4, and he bowled very well. I'm not saying no. He showed why they played him because of his experience. I'm not surprised at what he did in the new ball. However, at the death, despite how he didn't go for runs, but I thought I would have bowled him out sooner because he's not a death bowler. And this is where KKR missed the trick. Had they played Rovman Powell and the others played with a bit more responsibility, you saw the last 2 wickets were just swinging and being bowled like what Russell did. Then if you've got a Rovman Powell, Rinku Singh, Andre Russell, Ramandeep Singh, at least 2 of those played more responsibly. Would Josh Hazelwood have ended up with 2 for 22 and 4 when bowling the last 2s in a phase that he's not comfortable in? I don't think so. So if Josh Hazelwood goes to runs at the death, and even if Bhuvneshwar Kumar comes back, which he didn't play today because of injury, I'm sure he'll be back when he's fit. Even if Bhuvneshwar Kumar comes back, he can't go for runs at the death. So if Josh Hazelwood does go for runs, if you choose to bowl him at the back end, then you may find it difficult, which is why I would still say there is a case. If you're not going to include Nuwan Tushara, then that's fine because Josh Hazelwood did well. And I don't think if you're dropping him after this, then fair enough. I understand why you wouldn't want to do that. You can bowl him out earlier, and then you can, I feel Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowling at the death. Yes, he's been going for runs off late at the death, but it'd be a much more trustworthy option than Josh Hazelwood, who I don't feel was a death bowler. But apart from that, Kunal Pandya is not someone who takes many wickets, and 3 for 29 in 4 after going for runs in his first over, I thought was a fantastic performance. Shreya Sharma, as I said, I'm not surprised he'd go for runs. He's not experienced. He did take the wicket of Russell, which I thought it limited the score of KKR. So they managed with their bowling, and KKR got well under par, so I knew RCB would win. And with the batting, Phil Salt, Virat Kohli, half centuries for them. Destructive half century from Phil Salt and Virat Kohli. He's retired from the T20I side, and I'm not surprised that he has scored runs today. I think he'll continue to do so throughout the tournament. The hunger that I talked about at the start of the video, there is no player who's got that more than Virat Kohli. I'm sure this will continue. I would have sent out Rajat Patidar at number 3. You got 80 without loss after 6 overs, and Devdutt Padikkal is not a power hitter. We saw he just tried to muscle the ball. He's not a power hitter. Rajat Patidar played a fantastic cameo. I would have sent him out at 3. Liam Livingstone also scored some runs at the end, so I don't know why they sent out Padikkal. But convincing victory for RCB. If Bhuvneshwar Kumar comes in and Romario Shepherd comes in for Tim David, I think they'll qualify in my preview video, and I think they'll be on the right track if they make those 2 changes. The KKR, I'd mentioned before, if you're talking about an underrated combination with the ball, it'd be Vaibhav Arora and Harshit Rana. But are they 2 going to win you a match? I don't think so. Vaibhav went at 14, and Harshit Rana, for some reason, he plays for India, but he's been introduced a 4th change. I really didn't understand that. I would have bowled him ahead of Spencer Johnson. I would have played Chetan Sakaria, but they're fixated on playing the overseas fast bowlers, definitely, because when Nokia is not fit, they're playing Spencer Johnson. And Sunil Narayan run for 27. Varun Chakravarti didn't bowl as badly, but I thought he erred on the fuller side at times when he went for runs. He went for 21 in his first over, but I thought he came back well after that point. So overall, RCB, a very good performance from them. Once again, we saw Virat Kohli, as we did in the previous season, slog sweeping against spin. And I'd still say him and Patidar are the most reliable players in the side. The others can fire on their day, but if those 2, even if one of those 2 are dismissed, they'd be under slight pressure. But with how they went today, with the template, they managed with their bowling. So I think very good win for RCB. KKR, they will continue to play Spencer Johnson. And Anik Nokia, when he's back, they'll think that will improve things. It won't. And so that's on that. So I knew they wouldn't qualify from the start, so I'm not surprised with how things went today. Now, for the 3rd match of this season, the 2nd match is the day match between Sunrisers and the Rajasthan Royals. But 3rd match, CSK versus MI. So starting off with the Chennai 11. Now, different from my preview video, I've gone with both Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra to start rather than just one. In my preview video, I'd said you could open with Rachin and Ruturaj, and you could play one of Sheikh Rashid and Rahul Tripathi at 3, then play Deepak Hooda at 5. But in retrospect, I think it looks fairly weak. So because you're looking at the options in this side from a batting perspective, the assurance you can get from them as of now, I don't know. So yes, he hasn't been scoring runs at a quick rate. He's not been in the greatest of form, but Devon Conway can provide solidity, yes. So Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, can open Ruturaj Gaikwad, and I think the practice matches he batted at 3, so this will be what they go for. Rahul Tripathi for now at number 4. You could play him or Deepak Hooda. I've gone to Rahul Tripathi for now. Shivan Dubey 5. Sam Curran number 6, because as I said before, if you're playing a pure bowler ahead of him who's not going to bowl more than 2 overs as the options you've got on the side, you'd rather prop up your batting. Jadeja 7, Dhoni 8, Ashwin 9, Anshul Kamboj 10, Noor Ahmed 11. One of Khalil Ahmed and Mukesh Chaudhary is an impact sub based on fitness. I hope they don't play Matisha Patirana. I saw a video of people saying, oh, he backed his old action. I'm not believing it. If he plays, then you're not strengthening your bowling, you're weakening your batting. You drop Sam Curran, suddenly this batting was quite light because there's an impact from the middle order. You've got Deepak Hooda, and it can only be him because Vijay Shankar is not someone who can walk out of 5 in these, on a slower surface when the field is spread against the spinners. I think he'll struggle because he's not a power hitter. So that's on that. So I hope they go with this combination. If they play Patirana, if they only play one of Conway, Rachin Ravindra, the worst case scenario would be if they play Conway ahead of Rachin Ravindra, then play Patirana ahead of Curran, then I think they would not qualify. So that's on that. And now, Mumbai Indians, I do not believe in the captain being banned for over 8. And after this, they've said that won't happen, but Hardik Pandya will still not play this match. 2 reasons. One, I think you could make the fine greater, which will become an annoyance after a while. That would be something that can provide an incentive, but I don't think banning the captain is the right thing. Secondly, with the options MI have got, if you take out Hardik Pandya, I'd say that top 5 is the main engine room. Then you've got playing on potential, but you don't know whether they're going to succeed. And without Hardik Pandya, you're going to see there's a major hole in this side. So I've gone with Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rikutan to open. Now, Suryakumar Yadav usually hit bat at 4. Because on a slower surface compared to the more batting-friendly surfaces where the ball comes nicely onto the bat, compared to a surface like what Chennai would offer, he may get stuck if he walks out after the power play, which is why I've gone with him at number 3 so he can make use of a harder ball and the field restrictions. Tilak Verma can play inside and outside the power play. But then after you've got the precariousness, Robin Mins can play aggressively. Will he go well on the surface? You don't know. Now, Mandir can play aggressively. You go on the surface. You don't know. And then Mitchell Santner, Deepak Chahar, Mujibur Rahman, I feel they will play because the spin strength, otherwise there's really nothing there apart from Santner and Mujib. Satyanarayana Raju is a good talent, then Trent Bolt. So as far as striking up front in the power play, you've got Trent Bolt, Deepak Chahar and Satyanarayana Raju. I think that's a good combination. Then you've got decent 2 frontline spin strength in Mujibur Rahman and Mitchell Santner. Then you've got a third spinner in Namandir. What I think they could do is for an impact sub, you impact sub as a batsman, because which bowler can they bring in? In my preview 11, I had Ashwani Kumar, who's a seamer. I don't think they'll play him because of the conditions. So they could bring in KL Srijit, who's not a power hitter, but he's a good player of spin. And he can provide more assurance to this batting lineup because they have batting depth. But who, after Tilak Verma, are you putting your money on to shepherd you through 20 overs? I don't think there's anyone. So KL Srijit can play in the middle order as an impact sub. And then they can play Wojaks because who can you drop? The only player you can't drop is Mujibur Rahman, and you won't have spin strength unless they're thinking Wojaks can play in the top 3 and score some quick runs. But then Suryakumar Yadav will have to bat at 4, then Tilak Verma 5. He'll be jumbling up the batting lineup, so I don't know about that. So where I think will be the major weakness for this team is that middle order. Because Suryakumar Yadav is not someone who, if he walks out at 4 especially, he's not someone who succeed on this kind of surface. Robin Mins, you don't know. Namandir, you don't know. Mitchell Santner, you don't know. KL Srijit's a good player spin, but still, if the others don't do well, you don't know. Then Deepak Chahar can bat a bit, but you're not backing him to walk out earlier. So you've got 3 options, really. You got Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rikutan, and Tilak Verma. Then you don't know about the rest. So it's vital that Suryakumar bats at 3 because it could be 53 for 1. A second wicket falls. Suryakumar does not go well on this kind of service. He's dismissed, and it's pretty much game over from there. So I hope they manage that correctly. And now when comparing the 11, so with the top 4, you've got to get 50 on the power play. For CSK, you've got Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, Raj Gaikwad, Rahul Tripathi compared to Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rikutan, Suryakumar Yadav and Tilak Verma. Devon Conway, steady player. Rachin Ravindra can classically accelerate. Raj Gaikwad, steady player. Rahul Tripathi will play shots. Compared with Rohit Sharma, will go all guns blazing. Ryan Rikutan all guns blazing. Suryakumar Yadav all guns blazing. Tilak Verma can play double roll. So despite the middle overs will be a problem for Mumbai, I thought they've got the edge in the power play. Middle overs, a huge problem for Mumbai because CSK got Raj Gaikwad, Rahul Tripathi, Shivam Dubey, Sam Curran, Jadeja. Ashwin can be used as a floater. Jadeja is a pace hitter, but he can nurgle the spinners. Whereas you've got, for Mumbai, only Tilak Verma, then you're struggling. CSK got a massive edge there. And then, so KG can use an impact sub, but still massive edge for CSK. Spin strength, no one can compare to CSK in the league. Fast bowling strength, I'd say, because you've got Trent Bolt and Deepak Chahar from Mumbai compared to Anshul Kamboj is a very good bowler, then Khalil for CSK, because the class of the Mumbai opening pair, I'd still say Mumbai got an edge there. So, power play edge, as far as the bat's concerned, I'm with a bull Mumbai, but the spinners and the middle order batting, I think that's going to be the big talking point because CSK's spin strength versus Mumbai's middle order batting strength. It's a huge mismatch. That's why I feel CSK will win this match in Chennai. They'll start off their season with a win, but let's see how things go. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and remember, this is my opinion. What's yours?